Good morning, Trig. Again, lesson 26 is super easy. If you watch the video, but super easy concept. It is review. 26.A is a review of what logarithms are and how to write them. So remember that logarithms are the inverse of exponential equations. Oops, I should put of exponentials. So for example, 2 to the x equals y. The logarithm would be log of 2 of y equals x. So they are an inverse, and you switch. You keep the first number and you switch the last. I'm going to go over that, how to rewrite one form to the other. So we're just going to do one example of it. So rewrite from one form to the other. So I'm going to build two columns. One is exponential. The other column is log. So the first one, if I have, we'll just do part A, 2 to the third equals 8. So how to write that as a log. Remember, this is base, exponent, answer. So if that helps, I can label it up here. This is your base. This is your exponent. This is your answer. When you write it as a log, you still see my base, but instead of exponent being next, it's answer and then exponent. The exponent is what you're solving for, or what is always on the right-hand side by itself. So the log form of this would be log. The base goes under your line. Everything else is written on a straight line. So log base 2 of 8 equals 3. I'm particular how this is written. There are no exponents here. So notice log of 8 equals 3 all in a straight line. The only thing you drop below is the 2. Let's try part B going in the reverse direction. So write log base 3 of 81 equals x. Let's write that as an exponential. So if I write that as exponential, I go base, and then I'm going to skip over to here to the x equals 81. You go clockwise, so you write 3, then x, then 81. So if that helps you at all. Part C, exponential, so 5 to the negative second equals y. So as a logarithm, remember you can pause this at any time and try it. So log base 5 of y equals negative 2. Okay, notice base, y, then exponent over here. Another one. So a to the b, as a logarithm. Log a of 30 equals b. Now remember, if I start at my base, go clockwise, that's my exponent, equals 30. Last one, and then we'll move on, because this first part of this chapter wants you to be comfortable going from one form to the other, one form to the other. So remember, in a log, you go base, that's your exponent, that's your answer. So last one, Okay, that is true. So let's say we write that as a logarithm. So my base can be a fraction, 1/5 of 5 equals my exponent of negative 1. So you should be very comfortable writing it from one form to the other, and that is in your homework. All right, 26 point B goes over log equations, and you're going to be solving for the missing piece. Or solve for the variable, however you want to look at it. So number 2, remember for all of these we're going to solve. So part A. Let's solve log of 3 of x to the negative equals negative 1/2. So how do I solve this? The way I solve it is I'm going to do what I did in part A. I'm going to rewrite this. So if I rewrite this, my base is 3, my exponent is negative 1/2. Sorry, this should be, yeah, no, that works. Equals x. Did I do that right? No, I did not. This should be, I'm like, I wrote something down wrong. It's because I'm looking at my notes and my eyes scan from one example to the other. This should just be a negative 2. So 3 to the negative second equals x. And then I would just solve that. So 3 to the negative second would be x equals 1 over 3 squared. So notice I wrote the reciprocal and made the exponent positive. So x equals 1/9. You have got to remember how to treat negative exponents. It's one of the first lessons I covered in review. So please remember how to deal with a negative exponent. So part B, solve for log base 3 of 1/27 equals m. So the way I'm going to solve this, again, is writing it in its correct, in its opposite form. So if this is a log, I'm going to write it as exponential. So that would be 3 to the m equals 1 over 27. Well, because of the reciprocal, I know the exponent is a negative number. Okay, so I know it's negative, so I know m is negative. And then what power would produce 27? And that is 3 to the third. So I know that m equals negative 3 because the negative would flip it over and 3 would give you 27. Next one. Now, these are going to start to get harder. Log base, I don't know my base, of 9 equals negative 1/2. All right, so the first things first, let's write this in its opposite form. So my base to the negative 1/2 equals 9. Whoa. Now I'm going to solve this. Now the way I solve exponentials, in this case the variable is the base. So the way I solve this is by raising both sides to the reciprocal exponent. So I'm going to raise both sides to negative 2, technically over 1. So this just becomes b equals 9 to the negative second, which equals 1 over 9 squared. So my base equals 1 over 81. I tried to cover all the different ones you would see, so hopefully you use my notes. D, sorry about that. Log base 4 of 8 equals x. All right, so let's rewrite it. 4 to the x equals 8. Now I know a lot of people want to write x equals 2. No, 4 squared is 16. So this isn't a full 2. So in order to solve this, there is a couple ways you could solve it. The easiest would be to enter this in our calculator. So I'm going to show you two ways. One way is I could just enter this in my calculator using change of base formula. That's one method. Or I could rewrite so that both of these numbers are written as the power of the same number. So for example, 4 is 2 squared to the x equals 8 is 2 to the third. When my bases are equal, I can set my exponents equal to each other. So 2x must equal 3 divided by 2. X equals 1.5 or 3 over 2. So that's one method. If you simply enter it in your calculator, you do log of 8 divided by log of your base. The base goes on bottom, and so you would enter this in your calculator. So there are two different methods, your choice, for this problem because there's no variable on the left. So log of 8 divided by log of 4, and notice I also get 1.5. So you determine which method you like better. Next one, the log of 1/5 x equals -2. This one's much simpler. Just simply rewrite this. So 1/5 to the -2 equals x. Okay, we can simplify this using our brain. I have to write my reciprocal, so this becomes 5 over 1 squared. When you write the reciprocal, make the exponent positive, so this equals x, so x equals 25. That is all that is covered in this lesson. It is all review. Your homework, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Homework for lesson 26, you're going to skip number 4, 12, 20, 29, and 30. And that's it.